Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. It's finale night! The official finale night here from Roving Island World Tour 2 North America. The last division rides for the last time here for Roving Island World Tour. I know, it's a sad day, but we got a 1 hour blazing fast race for everybody here tonight. These Pro-Ams have put on a show all season, and we know that they are going to end this thing with an absolute bang here tonight. So let's break it down real quick. Qualifying settings are the same as the race. There is no qualifying tonight. It is a reverse grid based off championship point standings. It is a BOP on, no tuning series. Open Group 3 minus Toyotas and the VGTs. Boost is off. Grid start with a false start. Check slipstream is real. Mechanical damage is heavy. Drivers start with a full tank of fuel as well. Only driving aids allowed are traction control and anti-lock braking. Grip reduced on track edge is real. Overdrive is on default, and the drivers must use a required tire for a minimum of 1 full flying circuit lap. So in this case tonight, it is going to be all 3 tire compounds. It's going to be that racing hard, that racing medium, and that racing soft tire tonight. They need to use all 3 here in our finale. Our penalty settings is shortcut penalties are on weak. Our ghosting is turned off. Contact penalties are also turned off. Contact with wall correction is turned off. Replace vehicle after track limit after leaving the track is also turned off. Pardon me. The flag rules are turned on. Ghost cars that are lapped are also turned off. And our pit line penalties are also on. So it is round 10. We are at 8 St. Croix A, and this is our Pro-Am division. And it is going to be a reverse grid based off our championship standings. It is a 60-minute endurance race with all 3 tires required to be used, and it is times 4 tires and times 4 fuel. So every time they rip around the racetrack here tonight, they're using 4 laps of fuel and 4 laps of tire, both of which are going to be a concern for our drivers this evening. And just to add to the pressure in the finale night, it's a double points round, and we've seen the implications that made in that amateur lobby last week on Monday. Whew, what a doozy that race was. All right, so it is weather SO7, humid and pleasant with a few clouds, sunrise conditions, and times 8 weather. So while we set up the grid, let's take a look at our championship point standings here now. We had a couple drivers drop out here late in the season for some stuff happening there in behind the scenes. And of course, that removed a couple of our drivers off the championship point standings. So now it is going to come down to the remaining drivers here in the season. And it is ATB with a pretty big points lead. 43 points right now on TT's Egon. Fast Ginger in third there with 338 points. We got ATK's Death in fourth. We got Sticky in fifth with 273. We've got Trone there with 246. We got Miguel with 242. We got Lucky Alpha with 232. We got Nolander with 224. Shredda with 216. And Pete Snow, who's not on track here tonight. Substitute driver with the new family. So 10 drivers, and all 10 drivers are here tonight, and anything can happen in that middle part of these standings yet. So there's lots to race for, and we're about to get underway. So I'm just going to set that grid up right now for the drivers, and we're going to get this thing underway. We are a little bit behind because, well, I'm a little bit behind. Go figure. All right, so it's going to be Shredda on pole position here, as again, Pete Snow is not on the track here tonight. From there, it is going to be Nolander in second place, and then that will place Lucky Alpha here in a third position on the grid here as well, as soon as I find him. There he is. All right, that is now going to place Miguel and Trone up in behind Lucky as well. So Miguel will start in fourth. Trone Kobe will start right in the mid-pack here today. That's going to put Sticky Bandit and Death just in behind them as well. And of course, that's going to leave Fast Ginger, Egon, and Guardian, our championship points leader. So our championship points leader starting in 10th place, second place driver in 9th, third place driver in 8th, so on and so forth, all the way up to our pole sitter Shredda, who's 10th in the points. So grid is set. Just going to double check. Looking good. Fantastic. All right. We have a grid order. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're missing one driver's ready. So while we're getting that driver's ready, we'll let them all know that we are ready to go. And we just got that driver's ready. So all right, gonna do a little swap. Gonna grab the microphone, pardon the noise. Gonna put down the controller. Going to flip it to the big screen. There we go. And we got no game audio. Go figure. So we're going to fix that right before we hit the start button. Uh-huh. Alright, there we go. Good to go. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is race time. So Race Control is going to get these cars out on the grid, and we are going to send our final race of the season here away when the green flag drops. So we're about 15-20 seconds away from our final finale of the season, and it is our Pro-Am drivers here tonight. So let's see what they got for us. Alright, kick them tires. Light them fires. Drivers are going racing. We got 3, we got 4, we got 5 reds, and now we're waiting for the green. Green, green, green. We are green, we're green, and everybody gets off to a pretty good start here. Alright, so here we go. Shredda leading the charge here into turn 1. We're going to go 4 wide, 3 wide now leading into turn 1 here. We got Porsche up the inside there. Shredda's going to channel through here. We got Nolander taking a look on the exit. Oh, a big slide there coming from Nolander there. Cold racing tires on these drivers here right now. And I'm not sure what happened to Shredda here. He may have went off track there. We did see him get a little bit wide, but he doesn't have any damage on that racing car, so our pole sitter falls down to the back of the pack. That puts Nolander up in the front. Miguel putting pressure here in second position. Lucky Alpha up in third place in the starting position. Sticky Bandit settling in right there in fourth. We got Death here in fifth place. Fast Ginger up into sixth. We got Trone Kobe here in seventh, and Egon and ATV side by side here battling it out. Egon's going to move up into eighth place, and now Shredda's going to try and take advantage here as well on ATV as he goes up on the outside here in his side by side action here for ninth and 10th place between VPR Shredda and ATB. And our championship points leader gets a little bit squirrely on the exit there, but he manages to get the power down good enough still to get the position ahead of Shredda there. So tough battle right there for ninth and 10th place very early on lap number 1 here in the race. And boy, oh boy, as usual, the Pro-Ams, they have nothing but full send in their minds here. It is all about who is going to win this race tonight, and it shows that these guys are already feisty on this racetrack. Miguel in second, Alpha in third. We got Sticky right there in fourth place, and the train is a-coming. Death here in fifth. We've got Fast Ginger in sixth. He's going to take a look up the inside on the Mercedes and the sweeper there, and oh boy, Death is in trouble here. He's on the outside of the racetrack, and oh, he's just going to get that car stopped before he hits the wall. Very close moment right there for Death, but oh man, that is going to take him out of the slipstream here. Now he has some work to do here, but he keeps the car out of damage. Great response time there by Death. We knew he was in a little bit of trouble there, and that sand just sucked him right in, but the sand did his job also by slowing the momentum of the car, keeping it out of the racing walls. So whew, close call right there, but now a little bit of time to make up. 60 minutes, lots of racing left. We're only 2 minutes in, so no need to panic this early on. We got Miguel here in second place. We got Lucky Alpha here in third. We got Sticky Bandit here in fourth place, and he was looking like he was trying to break the slipstream a little bit there from Fast Ginger, who's now up into fifth place. Egon chasing here in sixth. Trone down into seventh place. ATB now up into eighth place. We got Shredda here in ninth, and a poor Death here just coming into the Bridge Hill entry here. So he's got about a 10-second, a little over gap here right now on the field. But again, lots of time here to make this up in pit strategy on the racetrack. Drivers could make mistakes up ahead. It is not over till that checkered flag waves. And we've seen that this week, have we not, ladies and gentlemen? It has been an intense racing week here from GT45 Gaming and DDR. 6 stops, 7 stops. Alright, so Miguel here is 1.2 seconds in behind that BMW driver of Nolander right now. Sticky Bandit taking a look up the inside of Alpha there. Alpha just gives him a position there and just trying not to cost himself any time as Ginger is now reeling him in here as well. And ooh, gets it a little bit wide there, but he keeps the car underneath of him. That was a great job there by Lucky Alpha. And he actually gets a pretty good run out of the corner there as well, as Fast Ginger is tucking in behind. And it is a pretty big lineup of cars here right now, from second place all the way through down to eighth here right now. We've got Ginger in fifth, Egon in sixth, we got Trone in seventh, we got ATB in eighth, and Shredda in ninth place is on the back of this pack here again. All of a sudden, it's about 13 seconds to the Mercedes in behind. We know Death has pace. He's just got to lock it in here and start to put his head down. So start of lap 2 here, coming around the first corner. Nolander is going to retain that race lead. Miguel's still right there, half a second in behind, so not letting that BMW go anywhere. We got Sticky Bandit now charging up in third place. He's got 1.1 seconds in to the race leaders up in front here. We got Lucky Alpha here in fourth position, and TT Ginger here also putting some pressure on him here in fifth place. So Fast Ginger looking to try and grab some position, and Nolander makes a mistake coming around the corner. He goes wide on the exit there, and he's going to give up the race lead to Victory Pace Racing's Miguel Dizzle here now, and he now is a 1-point-second gap over second place driver Sticky Bandit. That now puts Lucky Alpha in third position with Fast Ginger very close behind here in fourth, and Egon chasing in fifth place. We got ATB right there in behind in sixth place, and it's about a 1-second gap between each other here right now. Troen in seventh, and Shredda and Nolander battling for position here side by side. Shredda looks like he's got the run here, but that BMW's got a little bit of straight line speed, a little bit of side-to-side contact there between the two drivers. Nolander's just going to back out, make sure he doesn't take that position there, and he's going to reset up the move. Tried to get the power down there beside Shredda, but just could not get it down. That BMW very squeaky, very slippery in the rear tires there, and you got to be very patient with the throttle in that car. Nolander is just pushing a little hard here right now, overdriving that car. Again, just got to settle back into the race here. Lots of racing left. So it is Miguel here in the lead of this race. He's got purple lap going here right now. It's lap 2. Everybody has a purple lap going right now, but is in the race lead, maintaining that gap to Sticky Bandit here in second place. Sticky Bandit has done well in that Lexus on these big power tracks, and I'm suspecting to see that car is also going to do well here tonight. So we'll have to see how it continues to grow here for these drivers. Got Lucky Alpha up into third place. He's got Fast Ginger closing in, and Egon just tucked in behind here, also in fifth position. And Egon's starting to close in on the back of Fast Ginger here a little bit as well. So everybody's just playing nice right now. It's early in the race. Nobody wants to force any unnecessary time loss at this point. We got ATV here in sixth place, and he is 1.4 seconds off that train up in front of him here right now. So working to try and get caught back up to those guys. We got Troen here in seventh place. Got Shredda in eighth position here, and he is in that slipstream of Troen there just barely and trying to close in. That's going to bring Nolander along for the ride here in ninth place as well. Death is still just a little bit behind here in 10th position. So are we going to see an early pit stop come from Death? I would suspect so. Sticky getting the job done there on Miguel, coming into this big huge sweeper to finish off the lap there, and we're definitely going to go take another peek at that here and see what happened there. So coming out of the chicane, Miguel just gets it a little bit wide. Sticky absolutely just gets right in there. He gives him a little push up the racetrack there as well, and then he takes a run up on the outside there. That could have been a wheel disconnect right there. That's kind of almost what it looked like there. This driver sometimes has that issue. He may have to reset that on the fly. So what do we got here? That was pretty crazy little turn of events there. We got Sticky coming into pit lane here on lap 3. We're going to see that coming from some of our drivers here. They're going to get off that hard tire very quickly, so Miguel's going to take the race lead back over there. We got Lucky Alpha now up at second, Fast Ginger in third, Egon in fourth. We got Troen here not too far behind, 2.5 seconds in fifth place. We got Shredda here in sixth position as well. Where is Mr. Sticky Bandit here coming out in eighth place after that pit stop. ATV's also coming out after a pit stop, and Death also coming in for a pit stop. So 3 drivers on that very early strategy here early on in this race. Let's go Pro-Am drivers. How you doing, Adam? Appreciate you. Hope everybody's having a fantastic midweek here as we finish it off with a doozy of a race. So it is Miguel, 1.1 second up the road from Lucky Alpha here right now. He's still got Fast Ginger just sitting in behind right now, half a second in behind, 1 car length separating the 2 drivers, and Egon's right there, 3/4 of a second in behind, about 1.5 car lengths in between himself and Fast Ginger up ahead. From there, they got a small little bit of gap, a little bit of a cushion. Nolander getting it wrong there into the wall in the background there. We got Troen here in 5th place. We've got Shredda in 6th. Nolander getting back out on track there. He's in 7th, and now he's picked up some damage on that car, and that is not going to be helpful. Holding off to charge a Sticky Bandit after a pit stop there. We got ATB here in 9th place. He's 10 seconds in behind Sticky, and we got Death here still 13 seconds in behind ATB. So, Alright, strategies are now underway officially here. Miguel still got his 4-ways on here in his racing car as well. There we go, he's got him off there now. Not sure what was going on there. I just may have hit the butt by accident. We got Fast Ginger here in the 2nd position. We got Egon in 3rd, so something happened in the Lucky Alpha here. Just a couple laps, a couple corners here while we were watching Miguel. We got Troen now up in the 4th. We got Shredda in the 5th, and we got Alpha just settled in behind here in 6th place. So probably just made a mistake at a corner here somewhere, dropping a couple positions. Still right there in that mid-pack fight though. Nolander here in 7th place, and Sticky is closing in quickly here. 3 seconds now in behind and charging. And with that damage, it shouldn't take too long before that Lexus puts some pressure on that BMW driver. We got ATB right here at 9th, and we got our 10th place driver Death here in that Mercedes. So it is Miguel here in the GTR, and he's starting to open up the lead a little bit here. Egon's gotten around Fast Ginger there for second position, and now he's going to try and start to make his charge towards that leader. But Fast Ginger's like, whoa, we're not done here yet. I'm going to come back and try and get that position here. So second to third place, Egon and Fast Ginger here got some work to do to try and reel in that leader. They don't want to battle too much because they're going to continue to open the gap up to Miguel up in front, and that is not going to be ideal either in the charge to try and battle for the lead. We got Drone in 4th place, and Shredda here really putting some pressure on him behind. We got Lucky Alpha chasing here in 6th place, and that gap is 1.4 seconds here currently. Nolander's about 8 seconds in behind the group there, and Sticky Bandit is still closing in quite quickly here. It's down to 1.4 seconds now, so as we come around the final corner to start lap number 4 here, are we going to see a pit stop coming from Nolander? Up ahead here is the bigger question. He's probably got a strategy in mind, and I'm sure that this doesn't necessarily work into it. And nope, he's going to go around again. So Sticky Bandit is going to start to put some pressure on Nolander here over the next 1 or 2 sectors of the racetrack. So let's just go keep an eye on things. We got Alpha and Ginger in pit lane here. Got Miguel in 1st. We've got Egon here in the 2nd position. We've got Trone in 3rd place with Shredda right in underneath. So 2 McLarens stuck together nose to tail here right now in 3rd and 4th place. And a good little exit right there. Just keeping Shredda off in behind. But Shredda closes up into the apex there, and Trone gets a good exit. And that gap is a little less than a car length between the two of them here at the moment. As they continue around the racetrack, and again, it's decision-making time. Do you battle or do you work together to try and close the gap up in front? The gap up in front is fairly significant at the moment. It's 3 seconds. Work together for a lap can turn that into 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds or less real quickly here. So we'll see what they opt to do. Sticky and Nolander here now battling for that position. So Nolander is in 5th place there, and Sticky is just seeing if he can find a way around here. So he has got a good run on the back of Nolander here. He's going to pull out, and we're going to go side by side here as we get ready to set up for the next left-hander. And Nolander is going to have the inside track, but Sticky sends it in deep. And can he hold the corner? Ooh, it's going to be spicy. Nolander's going to get her charge back there, and he tried to make that stick, but he just couldn't quite get the car to turn in there, and he's going to have to settle back in behind Nolander and try it again here in another sector. So it was a good attempt right there by Sticky, but he just went in a little too deep there on those colder racing tires. It just didn't quite work out for him here. So as these drivers come around the super long sweeping hairpin, very high speed hairpin here, he's going to come out charging 0.4 of a second in behind and closing on Nolander right now. So I guess the question is, do we see side-by-side action heading into the sweeping chicane? And Sticky moving out on the outside there. It's going to be slingshot engaged, but again, putting him on the outside of the corner, but he's going to settle in behind, just in front of Nolander, right into the braking zone there. He's going to get clean entry, and it's going to get a job done there by Sticky Bandit. He's going to move up into 5th place. Nolander battling hard there, but he does have damage on that racing car, and that was probably the best he could do in the scenario that he was given here. We've got ATB up into 7th place. He leapfrogs Fast Ginger after the pit stop sequence, and oh boy, Fast Ginger hooks that curb, and oh, hard nose into the wall right there, and he is going to lose that position to Alpha there as Alpha comes around, and oh, that was a very tough one right there, as the curbing is not very friendly with some of these mid-rear engine cars here, and well, it just threw Fast Ginger across the racetrack there, and little mistakes like that on this racetrack can definitely make you pay dearly. So literally right after a fresh pit stop right there, and into the wall with some heavy nose damage. So I'm not sure how he's going to opt to handle that situation here, but definitely a tough start to that second stint there for Fast Ginger. Let's go Pro-Am, let's go TT, let's go TT. Hey, alright, all the fans up in the house here. Everybody's starting to come in and see what's happening here on the racetrack. We appreciate y'all. Alright, so it is Miguel. He's still got the race lead, but it's not a significant lead. It's only 3.7 seconds here on the second place driver, Egon. We've got Trone here in 3rd place, and Trone is coming into pit lane there, and that was an interesting pit entry. As Shredda comes around here in 3rd place. Got Sticky Bandit, he's going to come around, he's going to continue on here up in the 5th place. Obviously he pit at the end of lap 2, I believe it was, and has been out for a couple laps here now. Nolander again, getting near the end of a stint, I would assume here, so I would imagine we're going to see him bring that car in at some point here and get that damage repaired, because that damage is definitely going to be costing him some time on the racetrack here. ATB comes through with the fastest lap on the track here, currently at 3:08.6, and he's got 7 seconds to Nolander up in 5th place right now. We got Trone here in 7th, we got Alpha here in 8th, and he's 2.3 seconds in behind Trone. We got Fast Ginger here in 9th place, and it is going to be a long stint for that driver here. We got Death in 10th position, and it's 2.2 seconds in behind Ginger here, so now Death is starting to catch back up to that pack as, again, strategies start to come into play. We're starting to see pit stops happen. We got drivers on different strategies. We're going to see 2, we're going to see 3, maybe 4 stop strategies happening here today, and all of that in the last 15 minutes of the race is going to play out how this race is about to shake down. So as we enter in about 15 minutes in, not quite 15 minutes in, we're at about the quarter-way point of the race. So now, after this first set of pit stops, we're going to kind of see all the drivers just settle in to their race, to their pace, to their situation, and just try not to lose the driver up in front. If it's the race leader, in this case Miguel right now, the goal is to continue to open the gap up on the pack. So Shredda here in 3rd place, 5.4 seconds in behind 2nd place driver Egon here currently. We've got Sticky Bandit now up into 4th place, with Nolander chasing here in 5th, and 6.5 seconds is now that gap. So Sticky very quickly opening that cushion up on Nolander, and we got ATB chasing in behind here in 6th place, and he's got the gap closing now down to 5.5 seconds. So that damage definitely taking its toll on that BMW. Got Trone right here in 7th place. We got Lucky in 8th position. We got Fast Ginger right here. He's about 5 seconds in behind Alpha, and now Death is closing in here as well in 10th position, and probably going to try and make a pass here. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. In the slipstream, he's going to pull out of the slip there, and it's going to be slipstream pass here coming into this high-speed S sector. And that was a nice tidy little move right there by Death, and he is going to continue on up in 9th place. So Fast Ginger's in for a long ride here. Alright, Miguel in 1st position, Egon here in 2nd. Egon is eating into the leader's gap here. He's got it at 2.3 seconds. It was a little over 3 seconds last time we're up front here. So Egon on a different tire compound closing in the leader right now. We got Shredda here in 3rd position, also on a different tire compound than 2nd place driver, and only managing the gap here at 5.8 seconds right now. So that Porsche has some good pace here right now. We've got THG Sticky Bandit here in 4th position, and he's having a good race for himself here. He's got a purple sector going there right now, but he's got 7 seconds to the race leaders right now. ATB is trying to roll in on Nolander here in 5th place. Again, just suffering his way around the track with some front aero damage here, but he's got his strategy. He's obviously sticking to it, and that is definitely costing him time on the racetrack here at this point. As ATB's got the gap down to under 2.5 seconds. He can see Nolander comfortably up in front of him here now, and that's just going to be a little bit more ambition and drive for ATB to push this a little bit harder, try to get that little bit better exit on the next few corners, and continue to close the gap. So as we come around the final corner and come across the start-finish line to start lap 6, the gap is now just under 2.2 seconds. So ATB very consistently gaining on Nolander. We got Trone just in behind, 5.6 seconds. Death here now up into 8th place, has made his way around Lucky Alpha there as well, and now 5 seconds in behind Trone there. We've got Lucky here in 9th position, and 1.3 seconds in behind. We got Fast Ginger here. Alternative strategy in play here. He's not going to continue around with that damage. He's just going to take that pit lane, and he's going to have to see what happens here at the end of the race. Maybe something plays in his favor here. A long race. We still have 33 minutes just under remaining here tonight. So 43 minutes, pardon me, remaining tonight. Lots of time left on the clock. We got Egon in 2nd position. Miguel starting to open the gap back up a little bit there, now up to 2.5 seconds. We got Shredda here in 3rd place. We've got Sticky here in 4th. We've got Nolander in 5th place, but ATB is tracking very quickly here in this GTR, and this is our championship points leader here. He's got a nice, good 43-point cushion right now, and he's okay. He's still okay right now. We'll break it down a little bit later in the race and see how everybody's sitting for points, and see where each driver's sitting, and we'll start to see if we're seeing any bit of a close up there. But for right now, I think the gap is still at about 20 plus points here between ATB and Egon. So how's it going, Rare Bear? How you doing? Appreciate you stopping in. Alright, so it is ATB here in the race lead. You can see he's keeping that gap right now, 9/10 of a second here in behind Nolander. So Nolander's doing a pretty decent job of keeping that BMW at pace, but it's sectors like this where you can see that GTR just closed right up on the rear bumper of Nolander here, and that's just because that aerodynamic damage he has in the front nose of that BMW is just not giving him the responsiveness that he needs in order to get the car to do what he wants it to do. And ATB had a nice good tight line through there, and he, again, just not able to quite make that connect. He's just being very patient here right now, and he's going to try and close up, and there we go, right on the rear bumper here now of Nolander. Nolander is just going to, ooh, a little contact with the wall right there, I think, from ATB. And Nolander's going to settle up into the line, so ATB is going to take a little look here up inside coming into the chicane, but that's going to be tough. It's going to put him on the outside of chicane part number 2 here, and with that damage, can Nolander hold the corner? A little bit of contact there. ATB rides it out hard there, and he manages to hold the position, and it looks like he's going to get the job done coming into the sweeper here. Nolander's just going to settle in behind there in that BMW, so that was a great little tidy pass from ATB here, and we'll let the TV crew give us a second look at it here as we're coming side by side there. And oh, no, that was great clean battling right there. No contact made. It was extremely close there, but great side by side battling between the two drivers there, and ATB just edging Nolander out here coming into the sweeper. And right now it's trying to open the gap now. He's got it up to 0.6 of a second, so having that non-damaged racing car really paying dividends. So Sticky Bandit here, he's coming around. He's now got the race lead. He's going to go around one more time here on lap 7. We got Shredder coming into pit lane. Egon comes into pit lane. Miguel comes into pit lane. Nolander comes into pit lane. So Alpha's coming around here, should scoop up some positions. No, Alpha's also going to come into pit lane here as well. We had somebody randomly join the room. Alright, that's beautiful. Hopefully it didn't spike the lobby. Fast Ginger here in 10th place. He's got a penalty there, and he is now just trying to make up some distance on the racetrack here. So what is it, 28 seconds to the drivers who have pit right now, and that's going to put him back on sequence with those drivers. So he needs to have a really good solid stint here. He needs to really put some laps down and close up on the pack, so when he gets back into the pit stop sequence, he has opportunity to battle for more positions. Let's go hashtag Team Rad. Let's go. Hey, welcome in TDC. Appreciate you, my dude. Alright, so it is Sticky Bandit with the race lead, and it's 17 seconds is the gap from ATB here in second place. We got Trone here in third, and that gap is 22 seconds. So that is the gap to the potential new race leader when those two drivers opt to take a pit stop here. Miguel's chasing. He's 2.6 in behind Trone Kobe right now, and we've got Egon here in 5th place. He's got 3.4 seconds on Miguel up in front right now. We've got Death here now in 6th place, so he's recovered fairly well so far from that early off-track moment he had coming into, I think it was the start of the second sector of the racetrack there. Just had a little moment. He caught the sand and it pulled him in. He had to give up all those positions on the racetrack and a little bit extra, so he has closed all that up, and we are still moving and grooving. I apologize to the drivers if you're feeling a lag spike there. Hopefully that doesn't mess anybody up. Alright, so it is Sticky Bandit here in the race lead as he comes up Bridge Hill here for the 7th time in the race. We got ATB in 2nd position. We've got Trone here in 3rd. We've got Miguel up into 4th place here. He's opted to jump onto the fastest tire here on the racetrack. Egon in 5th place. We've got Death in 6th. We've got Shredda in 7th. Got Nolander here in 8th. We got Alpha in 9th position. And we got Ginger 2.8 seconds in behind there in 10th place. So 38 minutes on the clock. Some different strategies coming from our drivers here, and it'd be interesting to see how it all works out at the end of the race. The last 10 minutes are definitely going to start to tell us the story here, and we'll start to break down some point implications if there is any, of course. So ATB currently sitting in 2nd place. He's got a 5-second gap over Trone Kobe. Different pit strategies potentially is hard to say, but Trone doesn't have a whole lot more fuel than ATB up in 3rd place there. So Miguel will actually take the race lead back with Trone making a pit stop whenever it is that he opts to do that here as well. But he's got to continue to close the gap. So Sticky Bandit in pit lane now, the race leader coming in. And it's 3 seconds to 3rd place driver Trone Kobe here. So we got Sticky Bandit coming in for his first pit stop, and ATB is about 18 seconds in behind. Should grab that position from Sticky Bandit here as he comes across. Nope, he's also going to dive into pit lane. Trone is going to continue around the racetrack here, so it may be Trone Kobe to take over our race lead here. And you can see the fuel guy still putting fuel in Sticky's car there, so Trone Kobe is our new race leader here on lap 8 of St. Croix A in our DDR Roving Island World Tour 2 North America America finale, and this is our Pro-Am division. So far it's spicing up to be a pretty good race finish here. Everybody's still fairly close to each other here. So we got Miguel in second place. It's only 2.8 seconds behind that driver. We got drivers on different tire compounds, and that is going to play a big factor into positioning here at the end of the race. We've got Egon in third place. We've got Sticky in fourth. We've got Death here in fifth. We've got Shredda in sixth. We got ATB in seventh, closing on Shredda here right now, 1.5 seconds. We got Nolander out of pit lane here in eighth position and 6 seconds in behind ATB. We got Lucky Alpha chasing him down here. He's got 4.5 seconds to the BMW up in front. We got Fast Ginger there now in 10th place after his mistake on track there, picking up some big damage. Hooks a curb, threw him across the racetrack, and unfortunate for him there, he put him into the wall, so he had to make an extra pit stop here in the early part of the race here. Let's go, Daz. Hey, how you doing, Shannon? Hope you're doing fantastic. Alright, so it is Trone here in first position. We got Miguel in second chasing, still a 2.8 second gap. Egon chilling here right now in third place. He's got 3.6 seconds to Miguel up in front. Sticky Bandit here in fourth place and behind. And it's only 1.7 seconds here between these two right now. So Sticky Bandit charging right now, looking to try and gain some time on Egon and take that third place position away. We got Death here 8 seconds in behind them right now, but he's on a slightly different strategy. ATB just getting the job done around VPR Shredder there, and he's going to move up from 7th to 6th place. Let's go take another look at that. And ATB just gets a good run here, and as we come into the sweeping S's, what is the dealio here? ATB just gets a good run coming out of the S's there, and he's going to get the pass done coming into the next corner there. So that was a great move right there by ATB to grab another position, and now it's Death 6.3 seconds up the road is his next target here for that driver. Shredda here going to try and settle in behind ATB and try to utilize the speed from that car a little bit to help pull him across the track a little bit faster. Got Lucky Alpha just making his way around Nolander here as well in 8th place, so Nolander dropping down into P9, and Fast Ginger's now charging up here as well in behind in 10th place, looking to try and get a position here on Nolander in that BMW as well, and he's just got that gap down to under 0.3 of a second here, so basically nose to tail as we head into the corner. And again, the McLaren just getting a much better turn, and I think he might have actually clipped the wall there a little bit, Ginger did, turning in there, and that actually cost him a little bit of momentum. We didn't get a good angle from the camera crew there, so we can only speculate what happened there. So he's going to settle back in behind that BMW here, coming up Bridge Hill, and we'll see if he can close in here to make something happen at the chicane. It doesn't appear that's going to be the case, so Fast Ginger's going to have to work on closing that BMW back up again here and try to get the job done. So Trone Kobe in first place. We got Miguel right there chasing in 1.8 seconds in behind Trone right now, so Trone's doing a pretty good job at managing the pace of the race at the moment. Egon's here in third position. It's 4 seconds now to Miguel here as we come around. He lost about a full second that lap on that driver. Sticky Bandit closing in behind though, and he's got it down to under 3/4 of a second. So Sticky Bandit also taking about a second out of Egon here that time around the racetrack as well. And now he is definitely in that attack range. He's tucked right into the slipstream of the Porsche here. However, there's got some technical parts of the racetrack coming, so that should benefit the Porsche driver a little bit here getting around some of these technical sectors. But then once we get out of this second and third sector here, of course the power and the advantage starts to go back to the Lexus driver here. So it's a little give and take around this racetrack depending on what part of the racetrack you're at when it comes down to trying to battle for position. You can see the Lexus closing up really tight here on the back of the Porsche driver here, and I think we're probably going to be seeing something try to happen here over the next 2 or 3 corners. This is clearly Sticky Bandit's got the pace. He tried to get the power down there. He looked like he was going to try and take a look up the inside to set up for the next corner here, but he just had a little wiggle. Couldn't quite get the power down good enough there, and Egon's just going to manage to hold off the charge here from Sticky Bandit for the time being in third place. But this is definitely battle on, as Sticky Bandit's just tucked right back in behind the nose of that Porsche right now. And it is, well, what's the gap here right now to Miguel? It's 4.4 seconds to Miguel right now, so they're actually not really losing any time on that driver up in front either. So pretty good pace from the two drivers here. Egon hooks that curb a little bit there. You can see the momentum loss there. He's got the inside coming into the sweeper. Sticky had a couple tires right on the track edge there, and had to just back off a little bit there to make sure the car was going to hold the entry of the corner, but he gets a good exit at the corner, and he pulls right back into the backside of that Porsche. We got Miguel closing in on Trone up front here for the lead as well. That gap's down to half a second, so we got 2 battles for podium happening here right now on the racetrack. And here we go. This is the mid-pack of the race. This is usually the boring part of the race, and these guys are all battling for the lead of the race here right now. So here we go. This is going to be a very close race to the end here for sure. 3/4 of a second is that gap from Trone to Miguel. Miguel is putting on a good race here tonight. We've got Egon here in 3rd place, and he's still holding out that charge from Sticky Bandit. He is not making life easy for the Lexus driver here right now, trying to get around him as they come up Bridge Hill right there. And both drivers get a pretty good run as well. Okay, let's go see what's happening back here. We got ATB 14 seconds back. We got Lucky Alpha in 6th. We got Fast Ginger in 7th. We got Nolander in 8th. We got Shredda in 9th. We got Death here in 10th position. He's made a recent stop, so he has picked up about 6 seconds overall here on this field with his pit stop sequence there. So it is Trone Kobe up in the race lead here, and well, we may be seeing some pit stops happening here very, very soon. This track is scary. Yes, Sequoia 8, it has a lot of rhythm, it has a lot of flow to it, and if you get it a little bit wrong, it can definitely make you pay the price here. But the drivers seem to have a pretty good handle on it here for the most part. Just a couple of solo singular incidents here so far on the track, costing a couple of drivers some pretty good momentum on the track, and then, you know, they're in recovery mode here now. But Trone Kobe's doing a great job here at holding off Miguel, but you can see the time is definitely dripping. Miguel's definitely closing in on Trone here, so Trone is most likely going to be diving into pit lane here as we come around, and that is most certainly the case. So Miguel is going to take over the race lead here now, and the gap is to Sticky Bandit, who's just made his way around Egon here as well. So Sticky Bandit has finally found his way around that Porsche driver. That was a great battle for a couple laps between those two, and he's got 4.6 seconds to Miguel up in front here. Egon's in 3rd place. He's going to try and settle in behind that Lexus driver here now and try to take advantage of that car's slipstream the best he can. ATB's here in 4th place. He's got a little bit of time to make up, but again, on a slightly different strategy than some of the drivers up in front. Got Trone in pit lane here. He's getting some fuel. That's going to put Lucky Alpha up into 5th place here as he comes across the start-finish line. Maybe. Trone is just coming out of pit lane here, so we got side-by-side coming into turn 1. We got pit traffic and hot lap traffic coming through here, and drivers do a great job there. Of course, pit lane traffic's asked to hold the inside line, and of course the hot lap traffic asked to respect that line and take the outside line coming around, and that's exactly what we've seen there, and Lucky takes right back over that position in 5th place there. No harm, no foul. Drivers continue on. Trone tries to settle in behind as quickly as possible here because that is a battle for position up in front with Lucky Alpha in 5th place. Fast Ginger here in 6th position. Tires are still looking pretty good shape here, and he's got 2.2 seconds in behind Trone and Lucky Alpha up in front. Shredda here, he's in 8th place. Slightly different strategy here, it looks like right now, than some of the drivers up in front. 7 seconds the gap there. Death here in 9th position, 10 seconds in behind Shredda, and Nolander just making a pit stop, sitting in 10th place here in 14 seconds in behind. So Nolander just having a couple of mistakes early on in the race there, and again, just early race woes for that BMW driver this season, and now he's settled into the race here. He's starting to put in some good laps, but he's got some work to do here now. So it is Miguel. Miguel was about 4.6 seconds ahead of Sticky Bandit here in 2nd position, but that lead is diminishing here. That gap is now down to 3.2 seconds. That gap is opening up also to the 3rd place driver Egon here right now at 2.6 seconds. ATB still 13 seconds in behind. He's got pace of the leaders, but he just isn't close enough to make anything happen currently on the racetrack. But again, in a comfortable points lead, he doesn't need to make anything really happen here. He just needs to finish this race in a good position. Lucky Alpha here in 5th place. He's still got Trone Kobe right there in behind in 6th place, and Fast Ginger starting to close in a little bit there in behind as well in 7th position. And here we go. Breaking the slipstream a little bit there, moving back over into the racing line there, as realizing Trone wasn't looking to try and make a move coming into the corner. So here we go, heading into Bridge Hill here. We got Trone just tucked right in behind here. And a great exit there from all 3 drivers. That'll wiggle from Fast Ginger there in 7th place, but he's definitely trying to close in on this group, and he seems like he's doing so here. So what is the gap? 3/4 of a second to Trone Kobe from Lucky Alpha currently, and then it's about another 3/4 of a second from Trone to Fast Ginger here. So these 3 drivers are very, very quickly closing back up here, and we should have maybe a healthy little battle. We got Shredda just 10 seconds in behind them. ATK's Death here in 9th position as well, and we got Nolander here rounding out our field tonight in 10th place. 10 started, 10 still on the track. We love it. Alright, so Miguel here having a great race right now. 3.1 seconds is the gap, but boy, oh boy, is our THG driver ever closing in. I mean, 3 seconds here now. He continues to just bleed time away from Miguel here. 2.9, 2.8, back up to 3. So just a little bit quicker currently than Miguel here up in front. 305.6 his fastest lap here on the track as well. Now belonging to Sticky Bandit that last time around there. Got Egon here in third position, and it's 4.3 seconds now the gap. ATB starting to now close in on Egon here. Is 12.5 seconds in closing. Lucky Alpha is still tucked in 13 seconds in behind, but he's opened up the gap on Drone Kobe just a little bit there. I wouldn't say it's a comfortable cushion, but no immediate pressure here anyways coming into the corners, and that allows a little bit of a comfort factor for the drivers when they're setting up for their corners. Got Shredda here in 7th place. He's losing a little pace on those guys. Death is closing in Shredda. We got Fast Ginger here in 9th position. Now he's just coming out, and he's just going to settle out in front of Nolander here side by side as they come around. Nolander's going to grab that move on the outside, and Ginger coming in here in 10th place. So strategies are full in swing here, and that driver's on a different strategy here due to an early racing incident as well. Yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate you, my guy. You're allowed to, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. We're not going to get into the details about what's happening over there. I think it's horrible, and I think it's unnecessary, but that's all I'm going to remark on it here for now. But we understand, and your opinion is totally your right, my guy. So. Alright, so what's this gap? 1.3 seconds. Sticky has done a great job of closing up Miguel. Egon's just maintaining that 4.5 seconds here currently. ATB's at about 12.5, so nothing's changing right there. And Troan has closed right up on Lucky Alpha here, so this battle is very, very active here from 5th and 6th place between the GTR and the McLaren driver here right now. And as they come around the racetrack here, oh, we lost Miguel. No shot. We just lost our race leader. I think we just had a disconnect from Miguel here on lap 11. He was in the lead of the race there as well. So, boy, that's unfortunate. Sticky Bandit was closing in on him there, and now he doesn't have that car in front of him. So, disconnect coming from Miguel at the midway point of the race here, 35 minutes in, and that is a heartbreaker right there for that driver because, boy, he was looking good here tonight. And we hate to see it. It's so unfortunate that this is still happening here in the game after 18 months of being released. We have this issue here with our drivers just randomly disconnecting from lobbies still. Hopefully they get this sorted out sooner than later. ATB here in 3rd place. We've got Lucky Alpha here in 4th, Patron in 5th place, and that is just a heartbreaker for sure. Shredda here in 6th. We got Death in 7th, Nolander in 8th, and Fast Ginger in 9th. He will still get 10th place points here, which essentially is double 10th place points. So, I mean, he's still going to get points there, but you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Alright, so it is Sticky Bandit here. 5 seconds now to lead on Egon here. Okay, so the race complexity has changed a little bit here. We got ATB now up into the podium here in 3rd place. We got Alpha and Tron now battling for 4th and 5th place here. And everybody just grandfathers up a spot here on the track. And Tron doing a great job here. Going to put the pressure on him. Going to look up the inside of Alpha here. And he does have the position coming into the corner. So Alpha is just given lots of respect there. Lots of room being given by the two drivers. He's just going to back out of that corner there. I think he realizes Tron's on some better tires right now. And he's just trying to get this car around here on lap number 5. Sorry, lap number 12 here. On this stint, and it looks like we're probably going to be seeing that driver coming in for a new set of tires. So we got Nolander here in 8th, we got Fast Ginger here in 9th position, and it looks like he needs to make a slight brake bias adjustment to the rear as opposed to the front there. It looks like he's just eating up a lot of front tire in that GTR. We got Egon here in 2nd place, we got ATB here in 3rd, we got Tron in 4th, we got Alpha here in 5th place, and oh, he is along for the ride here now. He's still got a lot of the track left here to fight with that tire in the shape it's in, so he's just got to keep it neat and tidy here and just not force the issue with this racing car right now. Very fortunate they're picking up a little bit of track edge there, and that didn't throw him out, but boy oh boy, he's in tough racing conditions here right now in that GTR. Shredda here is 14 seconds in behind. We've got Death here in 7th, we got Nolander in 8th, we got Ginger here in 9th place, and some of the drivers' races just not going quite as planned here tonight. Alright, so it is Sticky Bandit here, and the lead is 5.8 seconds currently right now over the Porsche driver. He's got just under 12 seconds now to ATB, so ATB's clawing away at that gap here little bit by little bit. We got Trone now up in the 4th place, cleared Alpha there, and should be able to start to build a gap on this driver at this point here. Alpha is in 5th place and holding strong. Got Shredda here in 6th. We got Death in 7th place, and it's 8 seconds to him right now. But I can definitely confirm that a lot of the drivers are on different tire compounds at the beginning of the race. As I'm watching these pit stops happen, the tire compounds are going to pull a few of these drivers really close together before the end of this race here. And potential there is also going to be coming from this battle right here between Egon and Sticky Bandit. It's going to be interesting to see how these different strategies play out between the two, as they're technically battling for the lead of this race now, with, of course, disconnection from Miguel. So GTR behind pit wall here for the remainder of the season, and that is absolutely unfortunate. We've got Trone here in 4th place. We've got Lucky in 5th. We got Shredda here in 6th. We got Death in 7th. We got Nolander in 8th, and Ginger here in 9th, and our other driver, mechanical failure. Hate to see it, but it's racing. Let's go ATB. ATB. Alright, so it is Sticky Bandit here, leading the charge. Egon's in 2nd. ATB, as everybody's cheering for here, in 3rd place, and it's 11 seconds, so starting to close up the gap between himself and Egon. We got Lucky Alpha coming into pit lane. Not surprised to see that. Hopefully the driver makes that adjustment on his brake bias. You'll find that his tires are going to wear a little cleaner for him here. I'm not sure where we went wrong there. We got Shredda in 6th place. We got Death here in 7th. We got Nolander in 8th. We got Fast Ginger here in 9th. So it is Sticky Bandit here in the lead of this race. And he gets a nice tight corner right there. And that's what you need to do around here. You really got to maximize your track edges and your track limits here at St. Croix A to really maximize the corners, straighten those corners out a little bit in a sense. Some of these corners are very hard, tight corners that require some patience in these racing cars. So the more of the track you use to set the corner up and set the exit of the corner up, the better, and just a little bit less stress you're putting on that racing car at the end of the day. So you can see Sticky starting to open up the gap here a little bit. 6.6 seconds now on Egon. ATB and Egon fairly closely paced here tonight. You can see that gap is still about 12 seconds. Hasn't changed much over the last 3 or 4 laps. And oh boy, Tron Kobe just getting into the sand, and oh, he could not keep that thing out of from going across the track. He's going to nose it into the wall there, and you hate to see that too. And again, another McLaren just catching the curb wrong, and the curb's just absolutely unsettling these racing cars here. So curbs are not McLaren's friends here at St. Croix A. That much we have learned throughout this week of racing. We've got ATK Death here in 5th place now. Nolander's 5.3 seconds in behind, chasing in 6th. We got Fast Ginger up into 7th here. It's 3.5 seconds in behind Nolander, but a pretty good gap between himself and the leader here. We got Alpha in 8th place, just 3 seconds in behind, and we got Shredda here in 9th position as well. So Sticky Bandit just chilling right now. He's got a gap. It's not a cushion. He's got a little bit of a cushion, I guess, but it's not something that I would consider as comfortable as far as a gap goes. So don't mind me. I'm trying to get my mic adjusted here. The cord is tangling up. Alright, so it is Sticky Bandit here in the race lead, and I mean, right now no opposition, but I do suspect that may change here. We've got Egon coming around here in 2nd place. ATB here in 3rd position. We've got Trone here in 4th. Death here in 5th. We got Nolander in 6th. We've got Fast Ginger here in 7th. We got Alpha in 8th. We got Shredda here in 9th position. So I guess the bigger question is, there it is, question answered. When is our race leader going to make his pit stop? It's going to be right now. Is Egon going to follow that race leader in? Yes, he is. What's ATB going to do? Looks like he's going to be forced to follow the race leaders in here as well. He's on fumes coming around the final corner here. He's got about 2% fuel left in that racing car here, it looks like, so as he comes into pit lane as well. So our top 3 coming into pit lane. We may see Trone also do the same thing here with that front end damage on his racing car here. We'll have to wait and see what he opts to do there. We've got Death here in 5th place. So let's sit with Trone here and see what happens. He has well, it was 35 seconds, so it might be just enough of a gap for those racing leaders to come out ahead of Trone here, but Trone is going to come into pit lane. So we do see Sticky Bandit come out here, and what is the gap going to be between himself and the rest of the field? So looks like 10 seconds, so he definitely jumped a few seconds in pit lane there as he comes around the racetrack. We got Egon here in second, we got ATB in third, we got Trone in fourth, we got Death in fifth, we got Nolander in sixth, and he's going to go around one more time. We got Ginger in seventh, we got Alpha here in eighth, and we got Shredda here in ninth position. Alright, so THG Sticky Bandit here, looking pretty good. He's got a full tank of petrol with about 17 minutes remaining. And a nice fresh set of tires. Egon in second place chasing. Much of the same thing. Nice tank of fuel and a nice new set of tires. And much of the same thing for ATV, except he short fueled just a little tiny bit there, and that gained him a couple of seconds on the third place driver. And oh, Nolander's just keeping that car out of trouble there. He gets a little bit wide, gets out into that grass there, and he was along for a little bit of a quick ride there, and that's going to allow Fast Ginger to get up the inside here. Nolander's not going to be able to do much about this. He's going to have some dirty tires. It's going to be hard to get that car to do what he wants here for the next couple of corners, and Ginger easily gets a spot there. So moving up into fourth place, just ahead of the BMW driver there. So great little battle right there. Lucky Alpha closing in 2.7 seconds in behind. Trone coming out in 7th position after his pit stop there, and he's 1.7 seconds in behind Alpha. That puts Shredda here in 8th place, and that puts Death here in 9th position. So we may see some more pit stops yet. I don't think that this is fully done yet with these drivers. Some of them may be iffy on fuel. Alright, so this is a healthy battle here between 4th and 5th place right now. This is where we're going to hang out here for a minute's time or so on the racetrack. And right now, the way things are sitting on the racetrack, if the race were to finish the way it were right now, we're not going to see any change in the top 3 standings at all. You may see a little bit of fluctuation from 4th down through about 8th place, maybe in the standings, as the points are fairly close between those drivers in the mid-pack. But right now, if the race were to finish exactly in the condition it's in with 15 minutes remaining, it would be ATB will remain champion, and Egon and Fast Ginger will remain in 2nd and 3rd place overall in the season. So right now there's no change in that championship points table the way things look, but it is not over till it's over. It's not over till that checkered flag waves, and well, again, this week has proven that it's not over literally until that checkered flag waves. So Sticky Bandit still 10-second gap over Egon. He has 10 seconds over ATB. ATB has 20 seconds over Fast Ginger there in 4th place. Nolander is about 0.8 of a second in behind here as we come into the chicane, and I think that Nolander's tires are just wearing a little bit more right now. Lucky Alpha here in 6th place. We got Trone in 7th. We got Shredda in 8th. We got Death there in 9th place. So Sticky Bandit is moving and grooving here right now as he comes around turn number 1 to start lap 15 here. We got about 4 to go. 5 with this one included, I suppose. We got Egon here in 2nd place, and he's still tracking. ATB's trying to close in as well, so this is starting to close up here in the mid-pack right now. We got Fast Ginger, Nolander, Alpha, and Trone Kobe all starting to kind of close in on each other here, and with 14 minutes remaining, there's definitely going to be some spiciness and some battling happening here, I think, between some of these drivers. Nolander's actually going to be coming into pit lane here, so that'll take him out of the equation for the time being in this fight. Got Lucky Alpha going to move up into 5th place, and he's got Trone Kobe very close behind there. In 6th position, Shredda's going to come around the final corner here. That's going to grab him a P7 as well as he goes around with Nolander in pit lane, and Death should also grab that spot here as well, depending, of course, how much fuel that BMW driver needs to take for the last 13.5 minutes of this race. But it is Sticky Bandit here. He was one of the drivers up pit very early in the race here. He is on a 3-stop versus the 2-stop of Egon here right now, and the 3-stop proving to be very viable. Got ATB here in 3rd place. I think he's also on a 3-stop strategy here. Fast Ginger was on a 3-stop strategy, turning out to might be a 4 or 5 potentially due to the incident. Lucky Alpha has Trone Kobe all over his business here, but I believe Lucky Alpha's just gotten around Trone Kobe, so moving up into 5th place. Trone Kobe very close behind here in 6th place. And a little bit of slipstream brake right there, just to not give him full tow coming into the braking zone there, and that was a great idea there by Alpha. And Trone is just going to settle in behind there, and he's actually going to lose just a tiny little bit of gap on him right there as he comes into the next corner. Alpha's not going to have too much contention there, but the McLaren trying to make the time up here as we come into this absolutely huge right-hand sweeping corner. Really, it's just about throttle controlling, hooking the car into the camber of the corner, and just kind of letting physics do its thing here. Try to gain as much momentum through the corner as you can. Fastest man on the racetrack, still Sticky Bandit with a 3:05.678. That was done quite early in his second stint, or third stint, I guess, for that driver. Second stint for some of the drivers here. So it is Sticky with 12 minutes and 5 seconds to go here on the clock. 9.9 seconds to Egon here. Egon is just not able to close in on Sticky here. Has very similar pace. We got ATB here in third place. Much of the same thing. It's equal pace to the two drivers up in front. Just can't seem to close the gap up. Fast Ginger here in fourth position, and 20 seconds is the gap, but he's also starting to build a gap on Alpha in behind there, and that gap is at about 3.3 seconds here right now, so no immediate pressure there for Fast Ginger either. Got Lucky Alpha here in 5th place, with Trone Kobe here in 6th. We got Shredder here in 7th. We got Death in 8th place, and we got Nolander here in 9th position. So it is very unfortunate that Miguel's not here in the mix with these drivers after that final pit stop to see how all that was going to shake out with his strategy, but it is what it is. The race continues on here. Hey, let's go. Let's go. All right, 10 seconds. Egon here in 2nd place. 10 seconds to ATB here in 3rd place, but he has nothing to worry about right now. He just needs to finish the race. Fast Ginger here in 4th place. We got Lucky Alpha here in 5th. We got Trone Kobe here in 6th. We got Shredder in 7th, and he's got a 1 second track limit penalty there. That's going to cost him a couple seconds, and that's going to allow Death to probably get within about 4 to 4.5 seconds of him after that penalty served. We got Nolander here in 9th. He's about 9 seconds in behind. So some of these drivers making early race mistakes, and that's just put them on the back foot a little bit here. But Sticky Bandit with a great strategy here tonight on the racing surface. We have Egon here in 2nd position as well. We've got ATB here in 3rd place. Fast Ginger here in 4th position as well. We've got Lucky Alpha here in 5th place. We've got Trone Kobe here in 6th position. We got Shredder here in 7th. We've got Death here in 8th. We've got Nolander in 9th position. So Sticky Bandit charging, and as he comes through into the sweeper here, a little bit out into the marbles there, but a great exit there. You can see maintaining good speed. And Egon's just coming into that sweeper there, so that's about 10 seconds. Is about the size of this corner here right now as Egon's just coming through. Same thing from him. He gets a good run through there, and just isn't able to. He gains a little bit, gains a snifter, just a snifter at a time. ATB's losing a little bit of time to the drivers up in front there. Fast Ginger here is gaining very small amounts on ATB, not enough to make anything happen here, I don't think. Alpha's still 3.7 seconds in behind. No, Trone Kobe was closing in there, but he obviously makes a mistake there. Doesn't pick up any damage, that's the plus. And a 1/2 second track limit penalty there, so that's unfortunate, but he is still moving in the right direction. Shredder here in 7th place. We got Death up into 8th position here. We got Nolander in 9th place. So it is Sticky Bandit cruising. Keep up Nolander, strong finish. Hey, he's giving her. He's giving her. And as he comes across the bridge into the chicane here, he is looking quite comfortable behind the Lexus here at St. Croix A. Got Egon here in 2nd place as well. 10.2 seconds up the road from down the road, pardon me, from our race leader, but he's got 13 seconds on the 3rd place challenger ATB here. So again, not much changing in the standings as far as our top 3 go overall for the season right now with the way the race sits. The only change maybe in the mid-pack here a little bit, but we'll wait to see how all that sorts itself out once everything becomes official at the end of our racing week here. We've got Trone up into 6th place. We've got Shredder here in 7th. We've got ATK's Death in 8th. And we've got Nolander here in 9th place. So we can confirm officially that it was Apex Sim Racing Superman that is our AM Division champion here this season from Roving Island World Tour 2. And we can also confirm that Lucas 36 is our Pro Division champion here from Roving Island World Tour 2, as both of those sets of results are officially official here now, as racing has, of course, finished up in those 2 divisions, and there has been no incident reports filed, so that is it. We are closing out those 2 divisions, and these guys will have 24 hours to file any incident reports, if there is any, of course, that need to be filed here during the race today. And after that 24-hour period is done, if there's no incidents reported, Pro-Ams will be closed out, called official, and we'll make a beautiful little post on the pages at the end of the week. So we got ATB here in 3rd place. We got Fast Ginger here in 4th. We've got Alpha here in 5th place. We got Trone in 6th. We've got Shredder in 7th. We got Death in 8th. And we got Nolander here in 9th place. Been a tough season there for Nolander this season here, and seeming like he's just a little off pace here in this season. But you know what? That's all right. Just getting that seat time in and getting in that car always helps bring everything back. So the more he continues to put his time in on track, the more that pace is going to come back to him, and he'll be flying in no time again. He is injured right now as well, so he is racing with an injury too, which never helps. Definitely going to affect the pace of a driver a little bit. So he's out here. He's giving it his 110%. That's for sure. We appreciate him. We got Sticky here in first place. We got Egon here in second position. We got ATB. Oh boy, making a mistake right there. Not the mistake you want to be making right there as he comes around. And thankfully for him, Fast Ginger, it looked like he had come into pit lane there and wasn't still closing it behind. So I mean, it's a big gap from Lucky Alpha there. 24 seconds, almost 25 seconds right now. So not a costly mistake, but still a mistake nonetheless. Got Tron in 5th place. We got Death in 6th. We got Shredda in 7th. We do have Ginger here in 8th. And again, that was just a pit stop there from him. And I think a pit stop from Nolander as well. Potentially a little splash and dash there coming from the BMW driver to get him through to the end of the race here. Sticky Bandit coming up on lap number 17 here. Looking pretty good. Fuel shouldn't be an issue. Egon coming around here on lap 17 as well onto Bridge Hill. Much of the same thing. Shouldn't be an issue as far as fuel getting to the line goes. ATB is out of the top 3, a little bit closest, I think, on fuel. Heading to the start-finish line, but it still looks like he should be okay there. We got Lucky Alpha here is just a little bit more than ATB. I feel a little bit more comfortable that this driver has the fuel over ATB, but those front tires, again, just getting destroyed on that racing car here, and that is just a brake balance adjustment issue there for sure, and a little bit of bad information added down from the racing team to him. That's on us, my bad. We got Death here in 6th place. We got Shredda here in 7th. We got Ginger there in 8th, and we got Rad Nolander here in 9th place. So it is Sticky Bandit here in first position, and I mean he's just got to keep the rhythm, keep it cool, keep it calm, just keep hitting his marks and bring this thing home to the checkered flag. He's got 2 to go as he comes around the start finish line there. There'll be 2 to go here for Egon as well as he comes around the final corner here, and the gap growing just a little bit to the race leader. ATB's got almost 20 seconds now with that mistake too. Egon up in 3rd place here, but he is also going to have 2 to go as he comes around the final corner of the racetrack here as well. And we're 2 laps away from calling it a season here, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of sad, isn't it? But that's all right. That just means a great new season will be coming in the future, and we start all over again. So it's Lucky Alpha here in 4th place. We got Tron Kobe here in 5th and 5.6 seconds. That's definitely a potential battle that could happen there yet. Death here eating a whole lot of that curb, cruising around the corner here right now in 6th place, trying to hold off the charge of Shredda here, 6 seconds in behind Ginger, 6 seconds in behind him in 8th. We got Nolander here in 9th position. So Sticky Bandit charging his way up the grid here, and up the track here, pardon me, and looks good. Looks good. Just got to keep it nice and clean here as he comes around for another lap and a half. Much of the same for our 2nd place driver here. Don't need any heroics from any of these drivers at this point. Fastest lap on track belongs to Egon here right now, 3:05.5, so about a 10th and a half better than the current one that was set by Sticky Bandit earlier in the race. Got Tron Kobe here in 5th place. He's closing the gap on Lucky Alpha there. Death is losing the gap a little bit to Shredda here as well. Ginger's also closing up the gap a little bit here. Nolander's very close in behind there. Just 2 seconds off that McLaren as well. So definitely some potential battles brewing here before the end of this race yet. Well, we're not too surprised. We're not too surprised. Our race leader looking very in control here right now with 3.5 minutes left to go. So as we're getting near the midway point of the race here, lap here, pardon me, Sticky is, starting to feel that excitement. He's starting to feel maybe a little bit of nerves set in, and maybe your hands start to shake a little bit. Each driver's a little bit different how they handle that pressure when they're in the race lead, but it's always just keeping your composure, just keeping calm, and just don't change what you've been doing. We have Tron in 5th place here. We've got Death in 6th position, 14 seconds in behind. We got Ginger here in 7th, and we got Nolander here rounding out our field in 8th position. So Sticky Bandit is looking real good here. You can see he's just laid off a little bit there. He's losing a little bit of time to Egon up in front. But again, driver in this situation, 11-second gap is a nice, tidy gap. Oh, we've lost Shredda here now, too. Are you serious? Oh, my. And we lose Shredda on 1.5 to go there, so that is not ideal either. So 2 cars down and out here this week in our Pro-Am division. We hate to see it. We got Egon here in 2nd place. We got ATB here in 3rd. Lucky Alpha's there in 4th, with Tron in 5th. We got Death here in 6th. We got Ginger in 7th. We got now Nolander up into 8th place. So 8 out of our 10 drivers still moving forward on the track here. 2 retired behind pit wall now, and we hate to see that. We just love to see the drivers just finish no matter where it is, where they end up on the racing surface, but hate to see it. I feel for the drivers, it's something that's just beyond our control, unfortunately, and we're all just kind of along for the mercy of the servers, and some drivers get it worse than others, unfortunately. We got Egon here in 2nd position. We've got ATB coming around. He's going to start his final lap here with about 1:35 on the clock. We got Lucky Alpha coming around here. He's in 4th place right now, and he's just coming near the start-finish line. Tron as well in 5th. But right now it is Sticky Bandit with the race lead. Gets a little bit of a wide exit there, but nothing too major. Just a little bit off the curbing there. Gathers that car back up. You can see how the heat is just gleaming off that racetrack right now, and the heat of the exhaust of this racing car after a long, hard race here from this Lexus. So that car is definitely going to be ready for a cool down here in about another 2 minutes time, I'm sure. Got Egon in 2nd place. We got ATB still chilling in 3rd. Lucky Alpha here in 4th, but Tron is coming. 1.5 seconds in closing. Maybe a battle there. We got Death in 6th, we got Ginger in 7th, and we got Nolander in 8th. Nolander closing in there on Ginger as well. But it is Sticky Bandit here as we're getting near the midway point of our race here. At about this next set of S, this is about our midway point at St. Croix A here. It's about 1.5 minutes into the race, racing lap. Of course, it's just a little over 3 minutes for a lap completed here. It's a very long racetrack. So. And a doozy. It definitely tests the driver's skill. It throws a little bit of everything at the drivers. It has some undulation, it has cambery corners, it has bank corners, it has reverse bank corners, it has tight corners, flowing corners. Yeah, it has a little bit of everything here. So it is a very technical racetrack in a sense, even though it's very wide and very long. Sandbagger. Oh, don't worry, you two sandbaggers will get to race each other next season. You can sort it out on the racetrack, Jay. How's that sound? So it is 11.3 seconds here on Egon. Let us go see what's happening. Tron Kobe's gotten the job done. Unlucky here, moved up into 4th place. So we did figure that battle was coming. I just didn't quite think it was going to be that quickly. But Tron Kobe did not hesitate to make something happen there. And he's going to move up a spot on the grid due to it right at the end of the race here. So great job by Tron Kobe. Alright, just a few corners remaining here. 1 corner there for Sticky, and he's got 1 more right-hander. And it is going to be a round 10 St. Croix A victory here for the THG driver, Sticky Bandit. That was a very great performance here from this driver. That very early pit stop, 1 lap before everybody else, really seemed to put the strategy to work. He kept the car nice and safe and rewarded with a race victory here at the end of the season. Congratulations to Sticky Bandit. We got Egon coming around here. He's going to bring it home in 2nd place here, and that was a great push to try and win the race here, but Sticky Bandit just had a little bit more in the tank there over the Porsche driver here today, so Egon's going to take a 2nd place finish. We got Tron here up into 3rd place, so oh my, what happened there? As ATB might be out of fuel here, so Tron Kobe's going to steal a 3rd place finish away here, and oh my, we were questioning whether or not there was enough fuel in that racing car of ATB, and he's going to drop another position here on the track, and oh boy, it has gone from bad to worse for our championship points leader here as he is coming around the last part of the racetrack, and he is at the mercy of everybody at full speed. So Tron Kobe, well, look at that. We're going to get to talk to our boy Tron Kobe here tonight in 3rd place as long as he makes this corner safely. We've seen this corner do some damage this season. And there we go. It's going to be a pretty eventful 3rd place finish here from Tron Kobe. And there we have it. So GG's to Tron. Alpha is going to come through here at 4th place. And oh, ATB does have fuel there, so he must have just made a mistake. In 5th place there, we got Fast Ginger here in 6th position, so it wasn't a fuel issue, it was some other issue there, and ATB loses 2 spots there. It's going to be Ginger here in 6th position. It's going to be Death coming across in 7th place, and it was a drag race with Nolander there for the last position, as it was 0.81 seconds of a difference between the two cars there. So absolute great job there from all our racers, and hey, a couple of different drivers hanging out up on the podium here for our finale too as well. So we love to see that. That is what it's all about, and it is. That's it. That's race over. What a great race there. So we're gonna just save up the replay here. And let's go take a look at those unofficial official results, so to speak. So it is Sticky Bandit with the race win. It's going to be Egon in second place and fastest lap by 0.16 seconds over Sticky Bandit there. Tron Kobe's going to take third place there, with Lucky Alpha finishing in fourth. ATB's in fifth place. We got Ginger there in sixth place. We have ATK's Death in seventh. Nolander in eighth place. And our two drivers disconnecting from the race here, Shredda and Miguel, here in ninth and 10th positions. And that will be the position they will earn their respective points in as well. It's super unfortunate for both those drivers here, but is what it is, and a great job by our remaining 8 on the racetrack here tonight. So let's head over to this guy right here. Yes. Awesome job, everyone. Well done. Tron, Sticky, and Egon. Hey, appreciate you, Nolander. GG driver, says Chris. Let's go TT, says Jay. Must have been a driver swap at ATV last pit. Must have, yeah, wheel hopped it. GG's everyone, great racing. All a pedal issues. Oh, it was pedal issues, ATV. Oh my dude, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. All right, so we're gonna go jump into our interview booth here. Two of our drivers are already in there. All right, so we will first talk to our podium interviewees, pardon me. First, and then of course we'll talk to our champion ATB. Even though he dropped down a couple positions there, that's not going to change anything for that driver. He will be named our Pro-Am division champion here for Roving Island World Tour 2 North America. So great racing to him, great season, and I'm sure he would have liked to have battled it out with missing driver CB Matt for that championship title, as Matt had a few point lead over him. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and ATB is going to be crowned champion here at the end of the season. So my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We just had to step away from the mic for uno momento there. All right, so we do have podium interviewees up in the Discord here, so we are going to go and start having a chat with our drivers from our Pro-Am division here this evening. So 3 podium interviews here. We're going to start with Tron Kobe, then we'll move to Egon and head over to Sticky Bandit with the race win here this season, and then we'll go talk with our championship winner ATB at the very end of it all here. So let's go get into it. Let's go see what our podium interviewees have to say for each other here. All right. So here we are going to start with our third place finisher here, Mr. Tron Kobe, coming from the Humble Guys racing team here. And he did say that at some point this season he was going to be coming to talk to us. And here it is. It's at the end of the season. It's finale night. But hey, you're there, you're on the podium, and you get to come and have a chat with us, my guy. So congratulations on maybe a potentially a little bit of a surprising ending for yourself there, but a technical issue with that car up in front of you, and that allowed you to take advantage, get a position up, and move yourself into the podium. So you did everything you needed to leave yourself a chance at it, and a little bit of lady luck came on your side, and you find yourself sitting in third place in the race finale. Congratulations. Talk us through your night, my man.
Well, I did not expect the podium today, to be honest. I was farther behind, especially I keep spinning out in that one turn. Damaged my car. I had to hit earlier than I expected. I didn't expect to catch up with Lucky in an ATV round of gas. I was like, wow, I ended up with third place with the luck I had tonight.
I mean, you had really good pace in the McLaren there tonight. You were right there. You were keeping pace with those drivers you were trying to track down to try and gain position as the race was continuing on. And again, you did everything you needed to do here tonight to try to place yourself in the best chance you had to find yourself on the podium here tonight. And again, an equipment malfunction in that GTR of ATB here right at the end of the race, costing him some time on the racetrack there. And Trone was right there to take advantage, and so was Lucky Alpha to move up a spot as well. So that's racing, folks. That's the way it goes. Things break on these race cars on a regular basis. That's why we have mechanics behind pit walls so they can make sure they attend to those things for the drivers. But you hate to see it when it happens during racing conditions, but that's the way it goes. And you know what? Trump benefits from that here tonight, and he's going to get himself a great third place finish. And it's a double points night, too, so that's really going to give him a nice boost into these championship standings here coming to the end of the season. So, tough racing out there. Very tough racetrack. It's a very long lap around here. It's very flowing. It's very technical. How was it for your McLaren out there tonight?
Yeah, it was pretty rough for tonight. Been practicing all weekend, but today it just was. I was a little bit off pace, but I was managed to hang in there, keep my head down, and keep moving forward, even with those spin outs.
Absolutely. You did have a tough moment there at about two-thirds of the way through the race there where you just hit a curb the wrong way going around a corner and it just kind of spit you out and tossed you into the wall there. You really almost saved it there, but unfortunately the car just didn't want to quite cooperate and still coming in, making a good call would to come in and pit and get that taken care of fairly quickly. And that may have been, the deciding factor to get you into the position you were in. But great racing and just a good consistency here tonight from you as well. When you were moving and grooving with your head down, like you said, you were putting in some pretty good solid laps around the racetrack, and that definitely contributes into position on the racetrack. So, congratulations on a really great race from you. It's nice to see you back on the podium here and having a little chat with you again. And anything you want to add to your racing night here tonight?
Um, just shout out to this this league. You did a great job with it and with commentary. Shout out to THG, Corey, Sticky Bandit, everybody out there, and congratulations to Egon and Sticky for the win.
Absolutely, and I mean, great race yourself, and definitely, hopefully, walking away with a smile on your face today as you head towards that the humble guys paddock there. But we appreciate you coming and talking with us. It was nice to have a little chat with you here before the season ended. You did say you wanted to at least get to one, so mission accomplished there, I believe. And well, we'll see you in the next season, hopefully. And congratulations on a really hard fought season for yourself.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Trone Kobe from the Humble Guys Racing Team, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely awesome, awesome gentleman. Works very hard, comes in, he just races, he sticks to his game plans, and tonight it really worked out for him. And that's what we like to see. We like to see the different drivers hitting the podium throughout the season. That's why we try to get these close paced lobbies like we do. And that way, there all the drivers get a little bit of taste of what that success feels like. It's a pretty good feeling. So congratulations to all our drivers on the podium here. But congratulations to Trone. It's been a goal he's had in his mind for a while, and he's gotten there now in the series, and that's fantastic to see. So let's go ahead and move to our second place driver, TT Egon here in that Porsche 911 RSR. It proved to be fairly worthy in our Pro Division as well here last night with Miss Devious finishing on the podium with that car as well. And tough racing out there. You had a great strategy. You had great pace. It didn't look like you made too many mistakes, but boy, oh boy, that Lexus driver just had something for everybody here tonight. Talk us through your racing here this evening.
Yeah, congratulations to Stucky Bandit. Yeah, I couldn't catch up with him. I couldn't keep up with him, although I was still, running with my strategy. I had the idea of going on a two-stopper since the beginning. I didn't have much to lose, and that was the conservative way to go if everything went well. And Ghost, it did go well. I didn't make too many mistakes at all. I kept just a decent pace. I just pushed it when I needed. I understand I probably got a fastest lap there for the race, so that was a bit of a surprise, but it was a great race. Very tough, very difficult. I really wanted to just do a good finish, just to do well, also on the standings. So being conservative was the key word today, and I think I did just that. So I'm happy to have finished right here.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, you had good pace. You got through the pack relatively cleanly and efficiently through those first couple of racing laps, and then just kind of as the pit stops settled in and the strategy started to settle into the drivers, you just kept finding yourself climbing the ladder through the field, and you know, come that final round of pit stops, you and race leader Sticky coming in, there was about 6 seconds separating the two of you, a little bit more, and then he came out, gained a couple of seconds in pit lane there, and it just seemed like you guys were on very equal pace, and much of the same from ATB and behind that was chasing in third place there for the majority of that final part of the race as well. You just could not gain or seem to lose each other. So we only wish we could have seen what could have happened if you guys were nose to tail at the final lap, but that wasn't the case tonight. And you know, great race by yourself here this evening as well. So, you know, how was the battling on the racetrack? You know, there wasn't a whole lot of big mistakes made by this field here tonight. A couple of self-induced curb incidents, really for the most part, and I think it was just a lot of wiggles on exit that were really kind of calling drivers out. So, I mean, how was it out there racing this field for one last time here this season?
Yeah, it was hard. One thing I have to say, and this is a way to thank these guys. We have a great bunch of drivers. Pro Am is an amazing class. These drivers are second to none. A very high level of racing and a huge level of respect. So it actually feels really good to drive when you know you can trust the guys around you. They race fast, but they race very fair too. So I'm happy to see that. When it comes to the rest of the race, thanks for letting me know. My Since I drive on VR, I don't really have a pit crew to let me know where I am in the race. So I had no idea how much I had ahead of me and behind me. But one thing I know, I finished with almost one lap of fuel in my tank. So I kind of miscalculated, but again, I erred on the safe side. Maybe that was the one lap was the few seconds that I had to stay in the pits longer than Sticky Bandit, and then yeah, I couldn't catch up with him. Maybe if I had another 10 laps and lots of fuel in the tank, I would have done it. But no, he had the pace. It was a great race. All the drivers should be congratulated. I really can't wait to be able to race you, all of you again on the next season. Looking forward to this, Ghost. I'm pretty sure you're going to put together something amazing, and um, and I'm looking forward to that. I may as well just thank you as not only the host but also a partner of our racing team. So 10/10ths. I'd like to thank all the drivers, especially the two instructors. You've been a lot of help for me to gain some time on track. Thank to all the sponsors as well. Of course, EDR and all the sponsors of this championship. It was great racing with you. Of course, I want to thank my love Giselle. She's the one who let me allow me and support me to sit down in a chair for an hour and a half and come out sweaty in bed. But thankfully, I always take a shower before I join her. uh, but thank you, Ghost. I'd like to thank everybody, and I really look forward to racing all of you again.
Absolutely, and it is looking like it's going to be a second place overall finish here on the season, if my mathematics are correct. I'm just sitting here looking at the
Yeah,
standings right now. Yeah, so
yeah,
we
thank
shouldn't
you.
see too much change in the top three there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the middle part of the field here with how the race went down today. But it is looking like you're going
Yeah.
to lock down a second place overall finish here on the season. So happy with how the season went for you this season?
It went really well. Although I had to miss one race, I could not attend that race. So I had to did not start. Of course, that puts me back a few points. I've had, as you probably remember, and if you don't, and if you're watching this, you may want to go back to previous replays on my first race. I did a big boo boo. I deserved the penalty. I had to, take on the penalty. So my beginning of my season was not the greatest. I have pretty much 3 or 4 races that I could literally throw in the garbage. But then on the second half. I kind of picked myself up. I also got a new rig to help me out, which is working better. So my equipment is helping me a little bit on the clock, I think. And and then I gave it all, pedal to the metal for the rest of the season. So I'm happy to be here in second. I'm flattered to be with some of these guys. Really honored to be in the presence of some of these guys because they're really, really fast. But this was a great season. I'm happy to have finished in second place. And yeah, you can send the check through the mail. I'll have a beer for all of you guys. And that's all we need. It's bragging rights is huge when it comes to a good with good competition like this. And again, I'd like to thank all the sponsors and all the drivers for a great season. Looking forward to race all of you again. And thank you, Ghost. You've put an amazing show. Uh, I mean, I've been racing with you now for many, many years. I think I was there in your first season as a commentator on Gran Turismo. And I'm looking forward to making and having many more races with you. So thank you. I'd like to personally thank you as well.
Cheers. Well, we definitely appreciate that, and you're not wrong. You've been around for a very long time, my friend. That is for sure. So, congratulations on a great race finish here tonight. Obviously, second place in the race here itself, and of course, an overall second place finish overall in the season. So, with that being said, we'll let you head down over to that TT paddock there and go celebrate with that team that you're raving about
Thank
so much there, and celebrate with the rest of the group that's had some good success this season as well. All right, let's go talk to the man tonight. Hey, Sticky Bandit came in. He had a strategy. He stuck to that strategy. He kept his car very quickly in a good, safe position to start this race, and he just didn't look back. He was determined in behind the wheel of that Lexus RCF, and boy, did he make that thing look like the car to beat on the racetrack, maybe even for all the lobbies here this week. But really great pace out there tonight. Absolutely fantastic racing. Very tidy, very neat, very calculated, and a huge race win here for you tonight. How you were looking to finish the season?
Oh, absolutely. I really needed that. Put a stamp on my season. It was a bit of a up and down, bit of bad luck racing at the start. And like Egan said, he missed a couple races. I missed two races as well. One of them being double points, so that put me back in the field. So I just gotta keep these guys on their toes and let them know I'm still back here. I'm hunting them down, looking for them.
Absolutely. I mean, you had to start. Yeah, got a good starting point obviously in the grid there due to where, like you said, where you were in the standings just due to how the race season started and missing a couple of important race weeks. But that was almost in a sense was kind of an advantage because you were able just to fight through very early on. You got yourself into some clean racing air. You didn't find yourself really caught battling too much, and when you did, you were very calculated about it. You picked your spot, you made the move, and that was it. You continued on the racetrack. So, overall, happy with how your testing tuning went this weekend and how it all played out for your strategy at the end of the day.
But yeah, definitely. I did do a lot of testing because I didn't know this track coming in, and then it didn't take me as long as I thought it would do to get a feel for the track, and I just honed it in. And it is a fast track, but yeah, it was good. It was definitely good.
Absolutely, and I mean it was a fairly uneventful race for you for the most part. You had to only battle a couple of drivers at a couple of points in time as those pit stop sequences were kind of mixing up your positions on the racetrack. And I mean, like I said, when you did catch up to that driver, you were trying to gain a position on you. You just kind of picked your moment. You made it happen, and it was very quick and decisive. And I mean, I don't think we really seen you make too many mistakes. We didn't even see too many wiggles really out of that racing car. So when a racer in a sense almost races a perfect race, especially on the strategy you're on, you had a little bit of a uphill battle with having to do a little bit of tire saving and fuel saving with those extra laps after the first pit stop there. I mean, how do you manage all those things as you get to the race, and then when you come out after that last pit stop, you got a 10-second gap. What's going through your mind? You got about 15 minutes racing left, you got a 10-second gap, you should be on the same tire compound as the guys chasing you. Is that kind of at a time where you start to settle into your chair a little bit more behind the wheel and just kind of start to feel like you're just out for a drive and having a good time, or is it just pressure right to the checkered flag?
Well, I mean, coming out of the pits on the last stint there, I looked up and I did notice the gap, and I was almost, and I knew I had pretty good pace. I just had to keep it together, not take any penalties. And pretty much for the whole race, I was watching the fast lap, and I was holding on to there, and then I saw Egon dip down and he picked it up from me. Big shout out to him for that. And yeah, the last few laps, I wasn't sure whether to keep pushing hard to try and pinch that fast lap or take it easy. And I just decided to do a little bit of both and not do anything too crazy. And it didn't quite work out as far as getting the fast lap, but that's okay. I just it was mine to lose, I think, with that big of a gap. And I just had to see, like you said, stay consistent, stay tidy, and that's what I tried to do, and that's what I did.
Absolutely, and I mean, at the end of the day, is at one point really worth making a mistake in a corner late in the race and potentially picking up some racing damage and compromising that cushion that you do have? And I mean, that's a decision that, as a race leader, you're kind of left with. Some like the risk versus reward kind of way in, and some like the, you know what, I don't need it. I'm just gonna, I would rather just bring this thing home in one piece across the line and take my race win with a smile on my face. And that seems like that was what the case was tonight. In all honesty, probably a great decision. As this track has proven this week to bite drivers very late in the race. So, great racing and tough competitive field this season. This Pro-Am lobby, potentially the toughest lobby out of all three lobbies, in my opinion, just with how closely paced each driver was. Very unfortunate for Miguel from VPR here tonight. It looked like he was going to have something for you guys up front there too, and make a good fight there at the end. But unfortunately for him, having some car issues mid-race there. But everything works out, and that's racing. And then tonight, you're top dog, standing atop of the podium. And I mean, it's finale night, so does it feel a little bit more special when you won the last race of the season? There's always big implications on that last race. Is that just a little bit more of a proud moment for a driver?
Definitely. All I know is I'm geared up in my team jersey. I've told the party chat before this that it adds at least 12 horsepower, and I don't know if they believed me, but they got to get their own team jersey. It definitely works.
Absolutely. Well, those drivers will have to get with their team owners and be like, "Hey, man, where's our extra 12 horsepower?" But you just look good out there. I mean, you were consistent, you were smooth, you really locked into the rhythm and the flow of the racetrack, and you definitely had a car that was set up to perform well here tonight. And you put all three important things in racing together, and it was a great racing victory here for you tonight. So, anything you want to add, I guess, to your race here this evening, and anything you want to add to the season overall, and shout outs for the viewers watching at home.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks to you for all the hard work that you do. Of course, obviously the good commentary, all the behind the scenes work. I'd like to thank all the guys in the lobby for their super respectful, clean racing. As always, like we can't say it enough. It's really appreciated. Big shout out to my THG boys. Big shout out to Trone, double podium on the last race. Shout out to THG Corey, GT35. I don't want him yelling at me for forgetting him. ATV for the championship. Way to go. Way to go. It was a hard fought championship the whole way. So, that's well done. Thanks to my parents for watching and my buddy Jeff at work. And of course, big thanks to my wife and my beautiful daughter for all the support.
Absolutely, and absolute great way to really ring out a very long, arduous 10-week racing season with a good race victory to finish it off with a little bit of confidence. And then, of course, heading into the next season, you got that little bit of swagger, on your shoulders when you come into the paddock. So what we love to see from these racers. We really appreciate your time. It's been awesome talking to you, and it was really fun watching you really show a dominant performance here on a very difficult French racetrack as well. So. Congratulations on a great finish to your season, and let's let you get back and go celebrate with your teammate there for that double podium here tonight.
Thank you again so much. That was a great night. Thank you.
Cheers, brother. We appreciate you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, normally that would be it for our interviews, but hey, we got one more very important person to talk to here right now, and that is our Pro-Am Division Champion. Verified, even without, of course, stewarding results going into play. He had a very significant lead over the second place driver, Egon, and I think it would have been a close battle between him and CB Matt there if Matt would have retained it out here for the rest of the season. But, the way the things happen the way they happen, and at the end of the day, ATB finds himself sitting on top of the point standings at the end of the season and holding, a trophy with your teammate from the AM division. So 2 out of 3 divisions here. The Apex Sim Racing boys coming in and showing what they got here for the field and going to be called champions here at the end of the season. So congratulations on a really great championship. I know that you were really focused and locked in prior to the season. We were talking a little bit before the season started, and you really had some goals this season coming in to the series. And let's start there. Is it mission accomplished for you, and are you overall pretty happy with how your season went here this season?
Yeah, I would say for sure mission accomplished. I mean, like you brought up, that was my goal from coming from the last DMJ season is trying to get be more consistent with my races. Um, you know, control what I can control. Like just kind of have everything locked in as best I can. Um, and yeah, that just kind of don't want to say like the proof is in the pudding, but yeah, it paid off for sure. And to be honest, like you brought up, I was kind of hoping for battle towards the end with CB Matt because he and I were having real good fight there towards the end. Like I know he had a couple incidents in some early races like towards the middle of the season. I had some not so great results, and I was like, okay, this is going to boil down towards the end, but things happen, off track or what have you. Like I said, I was kind of disappointed, didn't we're going to go head to head with them going in the night, but yeah, it was just one of those things where it's still kind of like settling in that I came into this and had a top three, if not overall win in in my sights, and just went out and did what I can do.
Absolutely, and I mean, it all starts, like you said, it all starts with hard work. Seat time obviously is a big thing, and I mean, it's not that any other driver in the series hasn't put in time or the work. Everybody puts in their practice regiment. Everybody has their routine and how they prepare for each individual race each week. But you really came in, and irrelevant whether or not CB Matt would be crowned champion if he was here for the last two races. And like I said, it's unfortunate it happens, but that's the way league racing goes. You still accomplish your goal. I mean, with that being said, you were looking for at least top three here at the season, and if it would have came down to a one race showdown, much like our AM division was this week, and Matt would have came out on top of that. I mean, I don't foresee you being any less disappointed, to be honest. Just knowing our discussion previous to the season, so great racing season from you. You came out in a car that was fairly well rounded for the season. The GTR was really kind of one of those cars like the Porsche that was a good pick for the season. It seemed to kind of suit most of the racetracks on the schedule, but it's still a difficult car to navigate quickly at the pace that you were dealing with this season. I mean, let's talk about the pace of the drivers, the field that you're up against. This, I believe, is probably the closest ever secondary or pro-am lobby that we've had here at GT45 Gaming, DMJ, and DDR throughout the series and our time together. I mean, this was just some really tight racing, qualifying several times throughout the season. You guys were a little separated by less than a second from first to 14th position through the field. And I mean, uh, how do you prepare for that, knowing that every guy in the field is literally just as quick as you are? I mean, what's your mental attitude in your preparation, and then how do you, of course, maintain that attitude while you're on the track as things are unfolding in front of you?
Yeah, for sure. That was one of the things, like I said before, coming into the series that I really wanted to focus on is like consistency, my mental focus, my um, mental constitution is a word. Trying not to get too down on myself if if one race result wasn't where I thought it would be, um, or what have you. And like I said, fortunately enough that most of the field would hop into a lobby at some point or another when either I had it open or someone else. So I was able to kind of get a good gauge on uh on the pace of everyone, and like you said, we were all generally like all kind of right there together. Um, and yeah, just going into a race weekend with that is just that's one thing I try to do is work on my pace, but also my consistency. Like, kind of pick up like breaking points or not easier, but smoother ways for me to attack corners and do that consistently. Because I knew that was one of the things kind of holding me back, and it's kind of one of those. Where I work on my pace and the consistency drops, and then work on my consistency, and the pace kind of evens out, and it's just kind of, you know, finding that fine line of kind of balancing those two things. But but yeah, it like you said, just with how tight this group was, coming into certain races. Yeah, it was just one of those things where it's just, again, I bring up is like I'll just go and do what I can, race smart, race hard, and then like I said, see where everything falls when the checkers fall.
Absolutely. And I mean, at the end of the day, I guess that's really all we can do as racers, because no matter how well prepared we are coming onto a racetrack with our cars and our crews, no matter how fast we are, no matter how well the car may be hooking up during qualifying and practice sessions leading into race day, you just can't predict what's going to happen come green flag drop. There's a million scenarios that could happen in a split second time in front of these drivers, and a lot of the strategies and a lot of the race pacing and a lot of the stuff that happens throughout the season really does. These drivers are forced to make those decisions in split seconds on the fly, and that's a big part of success for a racer, as well as being able to make that conscious, proper racing decision. We've seen a lot of that out of you this season. We've seen, one of the things that I definitely can contribute to an improvement this season, as I've spent a lot of time, of course, watching you progress throughout your racing career, is your patience factor has really, really gone up this season. I mean, you didn't. Even when you knew you had pace on a driver and you were just finding that the driver was defending well, you just kind of settled in behind that driver, let him get comfortable that you weren't going to make a move, and then when that driver least expected it, absolutely attacked, got it done, and continued on the racetrack. That is one of the biggest changes I've noticed in your racing here this season, and I really think that is a large part of a contribution to you standing on the top of the standings at the end of the season, and also B, finding that more consistent pace that you're looking for as well. So, congratulations on that. I think that was a big improvement I've seen this season, specifically from you as a driver, and I really do think that helped contribute to your charge up the standings as well. But you've got a great racing team there and behind you, and a great group of guys to race with every well. And of course, obviously having the field, your competition out on track, testing and tuning together, obviously makes a big difference. So, lots of friends are made in the season. Of course, once the green flag drops, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of all gloves are off. But at the end of the day, at the end of the racetrack, these guys get together in the clubhouses, and they have a few beverages and tell some stories, and get together and have a great time, and that's really what it's all about. So overall, pretty happy with how the season went for yourself this season, as far as the camaraderie goes, and gaining those new friendships. I mean, that really is a big part of what we do as league racers. So.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to touch on that a bit, but yeah, for the 3 seasons I've been doing this, I know some of them have been in, in every series. Some, seeing one series and not the other. But yeah, that's the biggest thing with me, is kind of what's been cool is kind of seeing all of us kind of come together and just kind of gaining that pace as like as a unit, as it were, which at the end of the day, like you said, kind of helps everyone out. Being able to kind of see someone who's kind of closer in pace than you versus some of the faster aliens, people maybe in like kind of similar equipment or similar pace, kind of see like, oh, that's if I do this corner this way or take it in this gear, you can pick up a little bit more pace. And I think kind of everyone was kind of not copying each other's homework, but just kind of looking at what would work for one person. They try it and maybe adapt their own way to it, and then kind of rinse and repeat week in and week out. And to me, that's that's the cool thing to see, is kind of everyone just kind of climbing that ladder at their pace or how they can. And but like I said, at the end of the day, like it's still a pretty tight knit group, and especially on and off the track. And it's, like I said, just really neat and really cool to see. And that's just one reason why I love sim racing. Like, I have a poster sitting in my basement whenever I get around to finishing it down here, but it says the cars aren't real, but the racing is. And that's how I feel about sim racing.
Absolutely, and great. I mean, top level community. We say it all the time on all our broadcasts, no matter what the situation is. We definitely love the sim racing community because they're always willing to help too, and that's a big draw for me as well to the sim racing community. They care about each other. They don't want to see another member of the community down or out or feeling down. That right away that somebody is there to pick that person up and get them back in behind the wheel of the car and help them out, right? So that is a big part of it. But it was a great season here this season. I think that DDR provided an absolutely really fantastic series here with the mixture of course, the sprint racing and the endurance racing. It really kind of forced you guys as the drivers and gals as the drivers to kind of change that strategy mindset, to change the fact that, oh, okay, it's just another hour endurance race and it's going to be a one stop or a two stop. It really, from one week to the next, really made you go out on track. It made you test, it made you tune, it made you figure out what that tire wear is, what that fuel consumption is going to be. There's different cars on the racetrack, so it really forced you guys to really to be on point and really put the time and work in. So I really feel like the series that DDR presented here was absolutely fantastic. And is that a general consensus you think here through the community here this season as well?
Yeah, for sure. You you kind of said it perfect. Yeah, having that kind of that mixture of everything, kind of having to adjust, what the track conditions and what the track will give you, and then also your car, and you know, hopefully, doing some practice with other people and like in the same cars as you'll be racing against to kind of see where, you know, that person's car is stronger or where you're stronger. And like you said, that can, translate on the racetrack, kind of knowing when to defend and knowing when to attack. And, it's one of those things I've been, watching racing for, you know, a good majority of my life, and especially see that in sports car racing. You just kind of see, the real life drivers behind the wheel do the same thing, and being able to kind of replicate that in any sort of racing sim again, and is something that's cool. And it was really cool kind of to come in this series and have that be reflected a bit, and just kind of have to problem solve and figure it out, and like you said, just kind of do the work and put the time in when you can and see how it all goes.
Absolutely, and I know that the action's been great on track. If you're watching at home, from our AM division right through to you guys finishing every race week off. It's been some absolutely good, hard, clean racing action all season long. So we definitely appreciate the drivers for all the effort and hard work they put in. The seat time is what makes that driving the way it is over here in North America, GT45 Gaming specifically, because the drivers, the divisions do race together, they practice together, they work together, and they work with all divisions. You see these guys and gals all mixed up all week long practicing, and all that information being processed and passed along. It creates a really good, great racing environment, great vibes. Everybody's on the same page, and it provides for some great action on the racetrack. But with all that being said, congratulations on a major, hard-fought championship here this season. And any final remarks on your race here tonight and on the season, and of course, any shout-outs you'd like to throw out there to the viewers watching at home?
Yeah, on the race tonight, just Egon and Sticky. Like, I think just early race traffic is what kind of split us there at the end. Unfortunately, I had something. I don't know if it was an errant cat fur or what, but my pedals kind of started acting up, so I had to think on my feet and grab my little like vacuum blow, little kind of vacuum charger thing that has like a thing at the other end to blow up the pedal, and luckily I got it working. But I saw Trone and I think it was Fast Ginger, someone, I saw them come in, so I just pulled off to the side once I finally kind of got it working, and just kind of I saw them battling behind me. I was like, I don't want to get in their way, so I just kind of let them go and just finish off the race. But yeah, just this race was. It was tough. There's not a lot of information out there, as from what I can tell, especially on track guides and everything with this track. So it was kind of a lot of trial by error, and just kind of, like you said, putting in the time and figuring it out. And yeah, it was fun. It was like you said, a real kind of high speed track, and those always give like a real good racing. And but yeah, as tough as it was, I still had a blast. But yeah, the season as a whole, again, really, really kind of excited. Like I said, still settling in. That I brought home the top step with it. Just to all the drivers across the board. New drivers I haven't raced against. Some people I have for a while. This was just a really incredible season. Really liked racing with everybody. Like I said, it's been really cool kind of seeing us progress. Hopefully some of us will be able to get into the pro lobby next time, whatever comes up next, so we can see how we shake it up with those guys. But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone who competed this season, whether they were here tonight or not. Like, you guys made it, it all worth it, and just an absolute blast. And then I just love racing in this league and with everybody. And but yeah, I just want to give a shout out to also the rest of my Apex teammates, especially Superman for bringing home the AM title, and everyone having kind of like a strong showing up in the pro lobby. For helping out when they could this season with any sort of pointers or whenever needed help. They were always there to give advice and help behind the scenes. I want to shout out the whole GT45 community and you as well for hosting all this, doing the comms, having just an excellent community full of top class racers and just people in general. DDR and DMJ. Everyone involved on the UK side, bringing this all together, giving us all the information and setting all that up, and then, and then most importantly, the support I have here at home. My crew chiefs, my co-driver, my lovely wife, just all of them, just giving me support, cheering me on, let me have the time for practice when I needed it, and being there to kind of pick me up when I was down with some of the tougher races. Couldn't do it without them, and really just looking forward to what we have next. Coming down the line, whenever and whatever that may be.
Absolutely. Well, we always appreciate the long-standing continued support from the ATV household here as well, and we definitely can't wait to see. I mean, what you're going to bring back to the racetrack when the next season comes down there in the New Year's. So. We're definitely looking forward to it, and it was a great, hard-fought season for you, no matter how it all worked out. But consider yourself now a champion, my man, and congratulations. And thanks for taking some time to hang out with us here tonight, have a little chat with us. You always have great things to say. We love talking to you. And we're gonna let you get back to that Apex clubhouse before the boys tear it down with the second driver winning a championship here this weekend. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if there's much left after Monday night, but there might just be some pup tents and tarps up right now, but whatever's left, I'm sure won't be there in the morning.
Absolutely. And hard fought, well earned, and lots of success coming from the Apex Sim Racing group and all our teams here this season as well involved. So we appreciate that, and congratulations on a really great season, and thanks for coming and hanging out with us here.
Absolutely, and just thanks to everyone again for literally everything. But yeah, I'll see you on track next time whenever that happens.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely big love to our pro-ams. They absolutely finished off the week every week for 10 straight weeks with a great show. These drivers were definitely the closest paced division this season, and they showed it on and off the racetrack. They had an advantage. They got to sit back. They got to kick back and watch their teammates and competitors and their pro teammates and competitors go do their thing with their strategies and their crews, and they really got to sit back, take a lot of information in, and then when they came out for the final racing division of the week, they really just came out to put on a show, and man, did they do that. And wow, did the pro-ams put on a show for us this season. Some of the biggest moments and most memorable moments are going to come out of this division this season. And all in all, I'm blessed. I'm actually truly honored to have such a great racing community in behind me supporting me. We have a continued growing racing community. We have good drivers constantly coming into the Discord server wanting to know more, wanting to know when the next thing is, and we really appreciate that. Keep coming. We're going to be bringing stuff into the new year. We're taking a little bit of time to sit down, go over a few things. We got to work some bugs and kinks out. We got to do a little bit of testing and tuning, repair. There's lots of work to do here before the new year, but I promise it will be absolutely worth everybody's while as far as our racing community goes. So I just want to, say a huge shout out to DDR, D-Dot Racing. Like I said, this has been an absolutely crazy series. One of the best ever designed setup series I think I've ever seen or had my nose across. And, we're very honored to be able to run that series down here in North America, presented by DDR. So on behalf of GT45 Gaming and the Winner Circle community, we would really like to throw out a special thank you to D-Dot Racing and his partners DMJ, Lone Wolf Racing, and everybody involved over there behind the scenes, because they crank out some great championships. We've seen 4 absolutely doozies here already over the last couple of years here at GT45 Gaming, and I'm sure that's not going to be something we're going to see change in the future as far as great championships goes from the GT45 Gaming servers. So we got to say big love to the DDR, of course, obviously the huge organizer here. That's their brainchild, their baby. They did all the time to work to put it together, and thank you to the drivers for coming in and just absolutely making it a smashing success, having fun out on the track and putting on a good show for the viewers. I mean, that's why we do it, is for everybody at home watching. So for all of us that have tuned in all season long, division by division, race by race, or whether you just have a family member or a friend driving in one of the divisions, you're coming out to show that support to your friend or family member, we appreciate you. Whether you're silent or spoken in the chat, you all matter to us, and it all matters to continue to help us grow as an organization and continue to try and bring more people into this great community to really let the world know that it is a great place, and there's absolutely amazing places to hang out and make new friends and just have a good time and kind of let your life worries disappear for, even if it's just half an hour, an hour's time. Sometimes you come out, you're refreshed, and then you tackle your new day. So the great community that's going here, and it just continues to grow and improve day by day and week by week and championship by championship. So to the GT45 Gaming administration staff, I really appreciate all the effort as well from behind the scenes. No way that we could have done 3 divisions this season to the extent that we took it to without the great hands behind the scenes, to Miss Devious, to Jakey, to Larry Birch, to Egon, to Paul Blonstrom, to D.90 himself as well, to Lucas 36. Am I missing anybody? I feel like I'm missing one here. To Bandit as well. Big administration staff have been behind the scenes of this season to make all this work. Thank you. Your time is not unnoticed, and the driving community and myself appreciate you more than we can probably ever show you. So thank you for the hundreds of volunteer hours to help us continue to do what we do here to put on these shows. Can't do it without you, and I look forward to what we have coming next as well. So great season, absolutely great showing by our drivers. We started with 47 drivers this season, and we ended with about 34, I believe, so not too bad on the season. And just congratulations to every driver that came, whether you were here for just 1 or 2 races or you were here for the whole season. We really do appreciate you, and more to come. Stay tuned to the socials. We're going to make those big final announcements to make everything official once, of course, the processes have taken their due time here in behind the scenes. Pro-Ams here will have 24 hours to do any instant reporting if necessary, and if no instant reports come in, we'll finalize all those standings and we'll get those posts out to everybody over on Facebook and YouTube to let you know what everything is and how everything sorted itself out, where your favorite teams, where your favorite drivers ended up on the season. And we appreciate all the patronage. So we'll be back with some fun stuff in the off season. Stay tuned to the socials. We'll be live. We'll have open lobby nights. We'll have one-off events. We'll have some charity stuff coming up in the future, as it's that time of year where we'd like to kick off our charity events as well. So lots coming. Stay tuned. If you're not in the Discord server, I don't know what you're waiting for. Get in there. It's the best place in the world, man. And really thank you for the support this season. It's been a bang season. It's been the biggest season we've ever done here, and it's all because of everybody at home, all the men and women at home pushing this out and showing their friends. It's because of you guys that this continues to grow, and we really appreciate our patronage from our viewers. So GT45 Gaming signing off for the season here from Roving Island World Tour 2 North America. That doesn't mean we're gone forever. It just means we're gone for a little bit, and we'll have more great commentary coming here from the page on the YouTube channel. We'll have more content heading over to the Facebook channel in the off season as well. well. We appreciate y'all. Y'all matter. Our doors are always open here, whether we're actively in a season or not. If you're in the community, there is somebody here who's willing to help you out, and you never know. Sometimes we got some great insight, can really make a difference in people's lives. So, or sometimes people make a big difference in our lives. It goes two ways. It's a great open door policy here, and we appreciate y'all. And stay winning. Keep your nose up. Always push forward, no matter what's happening in your life, because as long as you're moving forward, you're still making forward progress, and forward progress is the key to success, ladies and gentlemen. So I appreciate y'all. I love you all, and we'll see you on the next one.